Now we have driven the M340i a good number of times, 3 or 4, 5 times, and we've always wanted to know the true potential of the B58, and this is exactly that. This is one of India's first properly tuned M340i here at Harmonix Tuning in Bangalore.
Now the M340i comes equipped with a pretty potent powertrain from the factory, the B58. It is a 3-litre turbocharged inline 6-cylinder engine that punches out 382 horsepower and 500 Nm of torque. Pair that to an 8-speed torque converter gearbox which shifts pretty rapidly and an xDrive all-wheel drive system, the M340i is the fastest production car built in India. Yup, BMW has localized the manufacturing and assembly process of the M340i, thus making it an amazing value proposition. But I am pretty sure everyone has wondered what the M340i would be like once people start slapping on intakes, downpipes and tunes to this car. Well, it might sound pretty easy, but it is easier said than done. The problem is, the M340i's Bosch ECU isn't the easiest thing to work with. BMW locks the ECU from factory, and well, the encryption is so difficult to break that not a lot of people have been able to figure it out. So to tune the M340i, Harmonix had to remove the ECU and ship it all the way to Finland to this one company that we can't really share the name of to get it unlocked. Once the ECU is unlocked, well, it is nothing but candy. Cause then the M340i is probably one of the most deadly cars you can buy regardless of the price. So this M340i has been fitted with an MST DCAT downpipe, an MST full intake system and a CSF charge cooler. Pair that with a tune from Utkunoa, a very famous BMW tuning firm. This M340i is able to push out 480 horsepower and 650 Nm of torque. Yup, that is pretty wild. But what is even more wild is that Harmonix is saying this is a development tune, and well, the M340i's B58 in this current guise can push well above 500 bhp once it gets on a dyno for proper tuning. Once that is done, you can expect this thing to probably dish out another 30 to 40 horsepower and 50 Nm of torque. But what does all of this feel like? Well, let's waste no time and launch this car.
So now I think we have spoken enough about the car, and I think it's time to show you what this thing can actually do. And we obviously have to do a launch. Oh my god. And this downpipe is just making insane noises. I know a lot of people have been saying that I say insane a bit too much, because all of the cars that we drive, literally, like, that's the word that defines them, and this is probably on the better end of that. And I don't know if you can hear it. I'm just going to roll the window down. This intake system that these guys have fitted, it makes the wildest of noises. And the pops and bangs. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm lost for words, because we have been waiting for this car to be tuned in India for so long, and finally someone has been able to crack the code of the B58 and do a proper stage 2. And that's not all, because this car is not even at its final stage of tune. These guys are still wanting to produce probably 40 to 50 more horsepower out of this thing, which is going to be nuts in a stage 2 car. This is going to be north of 500 bhp for less than 1 crore rupees. That power to money ratio is insane. And the best part is that this is not struggling to put down its power because it has an xDrive all-wheel drive system. So all of this power is put down efficiently. But since it's been upgraded, of course you have a little bit of wheel spin, which is insane. And the best part is, again, I mean, even the TCU is complying to whatever I'm telling it to do. And it's definitely needed because the shift times of this car is, is just mind-boggling. And considering that this is not a DCT transmission, it's basically a torque converter, 8-speed torque converter from BMW. The performance that the transmission can give you is really impressive. The owner of this car is planning to do a bunch of more upgrades, and we're super excited to see the future for this car. They're planning to install an intake manifold and whatnot. I can't imagine this car producing north of 500-550 bhp because this is the best bang for your buck you can currently get in India. And the boys over here at Harmonix Tuning have done an insane job.
So let's say you have a BMW M340i and you want to do something like this. Well, here is a breakdown of this particular car's mods. Now yes, 5.25 lakhs is no joke. Most people really can't spend that much money on a car, let alone on modifications. But if you are an M340i owner, I am pretty sure this is very doable. Considering the fact that this can allow your M340i to produce north of 500 bhp, 5 lakhs for a 120 to 130 bhp gain is pretty good. Most VRS upgrades cost the same, and while taking a VRS into the 500 bhp realm is significantly more expensive. Add that to the fact of the M340i's amazing pricing, well, this car is a true winner. There is genuinely nothing better than the M340i in terms of performance, speed and luxury in our Indian market today, since it gives you all three of those things at an amazing price point. Getting on to the looks, well, the M340i looks like any other G23 series, with some special bits like the grille and rear bumper being different for the Baby M product. But apart from that, to the untrained eye, this is any other 3 Series on the road. And that is the beauty of the M340i. It is very unassuming, but can basically compete with proper sports cars. Coming to the interior, this interior is slightly different to the M340i press cars we had access to because it has the dry carbon option selected and it looks super nice. But again, the interior is just like any other G23er, very luxurious, comfortable and tech infested. But one thing to definitely highlight are the wonderful seats that come in the M340i. This has to be one of the best cars I have driven this year. Yes, I did drive the Porsche Boxster, video coming on that soon, and yes, that was definitely a more engaging and raw experience compared to the M340i. But in terms of owning a car, the M340i just has that special factor about it that I can't really seem to put my finger on. So yes, this definitely has to be in the top 3 best cars I have driven so far this year. Thank you so much for watching this video. A big shout out to Harmonix Tuning for making this video possible. Follow them on Instagram to be updated on what they are doing. This M340i is basically one of the first cars in India to be tuned to stage 2, and it has been done at Harmonix Tuning. So subscribe to this channel, comment down below what you thought of this M340i. This is Soham. I will see you in the next one.